The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Marcus Chen stood before the assembled representatives of 400 civilizations. The vote had been unanimous. Humanity was to be exiled from the galactic community, cut off from all trade routes, diplomatic channels, and technological exchanges. Earth and its colonies would stand alone. Chancellor Vexith of the Zalaran Empire delivered the verdict with barely concealed satisfaction. His crystalline features reflected the chamber lights as he spoke. The human species has been deemed too aggressive, too unpredictable, and too dangerous to remain part of civilized space. You have 60 days to withdraw from all contested territories and sever all ties with council members. Marcus looked around the chamber, taking in the mixture of fear, contempt, and relief on alien faces. The Kelthari delegate wouldn't meet his eyes. The Pyrian ambassador actually looked apologetic. But most wore expressions of triumph, as if they had finally removed a persistent thorn from their collective side. Then Marcus smiled. It wasn't a polite diplomatic smile. It was the kind of smile that made several delegates shift uncomfortably in their seats. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a data tablet, placing it on the podium before him. On behalf of humanity, Marcus began, his voice carrying clearly through the massive chamber, I accept your decision without contest or appeal. Surprised murmurs rippled through the crowd. They had expected rage, threats, perhaps even violence. Humanity's reputation for stubbornness was well established. However, Marcus continued, tapping his tablet, I thought you might want to know what you're actually voting away. He projected a holographic display above the assembly. This is a breakdown of Council technological achievements over the past 2 centuries. Impressive, certainly. The Zalaran faster-than-light refinements, Kelthari medical advances, Pyrian energy matrices. He swiped to the next screen, and here is a list of human contributions to those same achievements. Curious, isn't it? 63% of your faster-than-light improvements incorporated human mathematical models. 71% of advanced medical procedures were developed by human researchers working in collaborative facilities. The energy efficiency upgrades you're so proud of. Human engineering. Chancellor Vexith's crystalline face darkened. Lies, human propaganda. Marcus's smile widened. Every citation is publicly available in Council archives. But let's move beyond the past. Let me show you the present. Another swipe brought up new data. Do you know how many human ships currently operate in Council space? 12 million. Cargo vessels mostly. We move 42% of all goods between Council worlds. Those shipping lanes you take for granted, humans optimize them. The delivery schedules keeping your economies running smoothly. Human logistics algorithms. The Pyrian ambassador leaned forward, his multiple eyes widening. Surely other species can adapt. Of course they can, Marcus agreed cheerfully. Given time. 3 to 5 years, according to our economists, before supply chains stabilize. That's a conservative estimate. Some projections run as high as a decade. He paused. I wonder how many governments will survive the resulting shortages and economic chaos. The chamber erupted in angry voices. Marcus waited patiently for silence, then continued. Now let's discuss military matters. Humans comprise 18% of Council peacekeeping forces. We patrol the border territories none of you want to defend because they're too remote or too dangerous. The Krell pirates you barely think about? Human ships have kept them contained for 40 years. When the Vex swarm threatened the outer colonies 5 years ago, who held the line until Council reinforcements arrived? He didn't wait for an answer. 300 human vessels and 40,000 human soldiers. 90% casualties, but you were saved. Captain Sarah Mitchell stood in the observation deck of the transport ship Defiance, watching the last human vessels withdraw from Council space. Behind her, Lieutenant James Rodriguez reviewed supply manifests on his datapad. It's strange, Sarah said quietly. They actually think they're getting rid of a problem. James looked up, a wry smile on his face. They don't understand us at all, do they? They see our aggression, our competitiveness, our refusal to accept limits, and they call it dangerous. They never asked why we're like that, Sarah replied. They never wondered what kind of world would forge a species that fights so hard, that pushes so relentlessly, that never accepts defeat. Earth had been a crucible. A world of predators, extreme climates, diseases, and natural disasters. Humanity had evolved not in some peaceful paradise but in a constant struggle for survival. Every other Council species had emerged from relatively gentle homeworlds. They had never faced the grinding pressure that had shaped human psychology and culture. James pulled up a star chart. Ambassador Chen's final report came through. 73 human colonies outside council space. Population 8 billion. Industrial capacity that rivals most council members individually. Sarah nodded. And now we're free to expand without restrictions or oversight. The council limited human colony efforts for decades, James continued. They said it was about environmental concerns and protecting primitive species. But really they were afraid of how fast we grow, how quickly we adapt. 3 years later, Ambassador Marcus Chen sat in his office on New Terra, humanity's new capital world. The planet orbited a binary star system in what had once been considered uninhabitable territory. Human engineers had made it work anyway. Chancellor Vexith appeared on the communication screen, his crystalline features subdued. Ambassador Chen, on behalf of the Council, I come to discuss renewed diplomatic relations. Marcus leaned back in his chair. 3 years. It took you 3 years to realize your mistake. The economic disruptions have been severe, Vexith admitted. The Krell pirates have become bold without human patrols. Several colonies have fallen, and our technological development has stagnated without human input. We warned you, Marcus said simply. We were afraid. Vexith said quietly. Humanity's potential seemed limitless. Your people achieve in decades what takes us centuries. Your tolerance for risk, your innovative thinking, your sheer stubbornness. We thought isolating you would protect us. Marcus stood and walked to his window, looking out over New Terra's growing cityscape. In 3 years, humans had established 42 new colonies, developed 3 breakthrough technologies, and created a thriving independent economy. The Exile had freed them from council bureaucracy and restrictions. You made us dangerous by treating us as dangerous, Marcus said. You created the very outcome you feared. Humanity is now a completely independent power with no ties or obligations to the council. Then you refuse reconciliation? Marcus turned back to the screen. I didn't say that. But understand this, Chancellor. If humanity returns to the council, it will be as an equal, not a subordinate. No more restrictions on colony expansion. No more vetoes on human research. No more treating us as children who need supervision. Vexith's form seemed to shrink slightly. Those terms will be difficult for many council members to accept. Then they'll have to learn, Marcus replied. Because that's what humanity does best. We adapt, we overcome, and we never stop pushing forward. He smiled, that same unsettling smile from 3 years ago. You tried to exile the most stubborn species in the galaxy. Did you really think we'd simply fade away? The transmission ended. Marcus looked back out his window at the thriving human civilization below. The council had meant to punish them, to contain them, to limit their dangerous potential. Instead, they had set humanity free. And the galaxy would never be the same.